What is up, Trust Troop? It is Trust to Impress, and I am Biggity B-A-C-K back with another video. Today's video, I have some great content for you guys. I'm going to give you 10 tips on how to avoid split ends. I am the queen of this at this point. I have heat damaged my hair, and I have the most epic split ends that exist. So if you're interested in seeing those tips, stay tuned. As I stated earlier, I have 10 tips for you guys on how to avoid split ends. Also, while I am sharing those 10 tips with you all, I am going to also be showing you how I flat iron my hair. So previously, I posted a video on how I flat iron my hair from a blowout. So if you have not seen that video, make sure you check it out. I'll make sure it's linked in the description box below. Here, I'm just using some heat protectant on my hair, which is the olive oil heat protectant. I will make sure that the details for this products are also in the description box below, so make sure that you check that out as well. I did not use very much of this serum. As you can see, I like oil-based serums best for heat protectants because my hair tends to be more on the dry side, and I like to put oils on my hair. My hair really soaks up oils super quickly. So if oils tend to sit on the surface of your hair more, maybe you don't want to use an oil-based serum. Maybe a spray would work better for you, but I really, really love an oil-based serum. And it seems to help my hair to stay straight longer. Now, this is a 3-layer comb that I found by Conair that I am going to be using to help me to straighten my hair out. I'll be using the chase method, which is just where you chase your fine tooth comb with the flat irons to straighten your hair more smoothly. And I am using my ion flat irons, and I was just showing you where I am using them on the highest temperature, which is 450 today. So I really like this 3-layer comb because it allows me to be able to really smoothly flat iron my hair. You can see that first piece with one pass came out pretty smooth. I think this comb is amazing. It's probably the best thing that you can use to help flat iron your hair next to a brush, maybe. I will be using one pass on each section of my hair with my 1-stroke ion flat irons. So as you can see, I'm using extremely small sections of my hair. When you use smaller sections of hair, you can more evenly distribute the heat throughout the section. So normally if I use a section this large, my hair would frizz really badly. So you can see that I'm splitting this section into an even smaller section. So before I give you guys my 10 tips, let me tell you a little bit about how much I have struggled with split ends. Since I heat damaged my hair, split ends have been the end of my hair growth journey, to be completely honest. I have to trim my hair a lot more often than I used to trim it when my hair was growing more rapidly. So I'll have to make you guys another video on my heat damage journey and how I've been able to bounce back from it a little bit and be able to wear wash and goes and twist outs and have my hair to curl up once again, because I definitely got to the point where my hair would not even curl up, y'all, at all. Like, my hair was flat on the ends. And I had to, when I did twist outs, I would have to use perm rods on the end of my hair to make it curl. So that was a whole mess. And I was under the impression that when I recovered my curl pattern from the heat damage, that was the end of my heat damage and that it was completely over and I would not have to deal with problems with my hair anymore. Well, I've even more recently discovered that the heat damage lives on because it is showing itself now in frequent split hairs. So as soon as I trim my hair, it splits again. And then after I trim it, you know, it's healthy for a very short period of time, and then it splits very easily. And I'm pretty sure that that is a result of me heat damaging my hair a little bit more than what I thought I did. So the extent of my heat damage is definitely a lot more than what I initially thought. And you can see throughout this video that my ends are very frayed and frazzled. It's definitely very apparent. So, oh, also, I forgot to mention, but I already pressed this hair out from a blowout 7 days prior to this video. So that's the video that's linked in the description box below where I initially pressed my hair. I didn't quite keep up with it each night with wrapping it and protecting it as I should have. So that's why I'm kind of in this space now 7 days later where it's frizzy, it rained, and I did not trim my hair yet, which was the whole point of me pressing my hair out. I just got caught up with life and other things and work, and I haven't trimmed the ends yet, and I like for my hair to be very smooth and as straight as possible when I do my trims, so that way I can cut as little hair as, you know, absolutely necessary. So I just want to make sure you guys know that this is not from a blowout. This is from a previous press 7 days ago. Okay, now back to your regular scheduled program. So since I have really taken some time over the past 2 years to learn my damaged hair and how to recover it back to a healthy state, I want to share with you the tips that I have really tried my best to stick to make sure that I don't have split ends, or at least that they're not occurring as frequently. So, of course, we already know to get rid of your split ends, do what? Trim it. Duh, cut the split ends off. So whenever you do get split ends, you don't want to prolong it. You do want to go ahead and trim the hair as soon as possible. Use sharp shears. You do not want to use dull shears or shears that you've used for anything other than cutting your hair. I actually would not even use the same shears on my natural hair that I would use on wigs and weaves, because wigs and weaves have more coarse strands than my real hair. So I know that the shears that I use on my weaves or wigs dull faster than the scissors that I use on my natural hair. Also, if I'm doing any type of wig or weave, I might be cutting other things like lace and thread and so on. So you want to make sure that you have a pair of shears that you use for nothing else but cutting your natural hair. And I like to replace my shears about every year to every 2 years. So that's just me. I don't know what is really suggested by professional licensed cosmetologists. And I'm sure even with that, it's dependent upon how nice the set of shears are that you're using. So all of that giving you background information to set you up for these 10 tips and why I decided to make this video. So I was inspired by my own personal struggles. So once again, these are all tips that I have used, and I have noticed that these tips really do make a difference in stretching out the times or the time periods between needing trims, which is also going to help you to retain length and ultimately grow your hair longer and healthier. So healthy is the main goal. And then, of course, we want a little length. You know, every girl wants a few inches to sling here and there, okay? So better to have those inches growing out of your scalp, honey, than having to attach them, period, okay? So let's go ahead and get into these 10 tips to prevent split ends before I am finished flat ironing my hair. You can see that I am moving fairly quickly. This video is in real time, so I did not speed it up at all. And I am going to flat iron my whole head in real time while I give you guys these tips. So let's get straight into it. I have prioritized my list from things that I think are least effective to most effective. So I am going to give you these tips in a countdown. So starting with tip number 10, I have use satin pillowcases. I think that this is a great investment. Not only do the satin pillowcases feel amazing on your skin while you're sleeping, but they do seem to be helping to protect my hair. I've noticed over the years that my bonnet or my hair wrap or whatever I'm using on my hair to protect it at night does sometimes come off. Now, I have learned to sleep pretty cute now, like a cute little princess. Don't get me wrong, where I'm not all over the place at night. However, there are a few times where my satin bonnet or scarf will come off of my hair, and having those satin pillowcases just really protects you during those times. Maybe you're super tired or you had a stressful day and you sleep a little bit more heavily than usual. You have that extra added protection. Satin is really good for your hair and to protect you from getting split ends because it's such a smooth fabric, a smooth surface. So it reduces the friction. So anytime you're reducing friction, you are decreasing the likelihood that you'll have split ends, because split ends can be caused by roughing around your ends and excess friction. So that's my tip number 10, satin pillowcases. You can order them on Amazon. I can even link the ones that I ordered from Amazon in the description box below. And then I ordered a satin sheet set that matches my comforter set from overstock.com. So the satin pillowcases that I got from Amazon are just white and nice and clean and everything. So I will try to link those down in the description box below if you are interested in getting the same satin pillowcases that I use. Number 9, tip number 9. Use a satin bonnet or scarf. So everyone, I'm not going to say everyone knows this, but most people are already hip to that. If you're not using something that's completely satin, at least get something that's satin lined. My favorite bonnets are the ones that are infused with oil. If you don't get those that are infused in oil, you can always just spray over the inside of your satin bonnet with a light coat of oil sheen and just let it sit and soak in, and that's really good. Now, you don't want to use too much oil and oil sheen when you're on your satin pillowcases or even on your satin bonnet. It soaks in like super quick, so you don't need a lot of oil, just a little light layer. But everything that I use on my hair that I sleep in at night is lined with satin. Even my I have do-rags that are lined with satin. I have several satin bonnets, both custom and store-bought. And then, of course, your satin pillowcase from tip 10 is your backup plan. Next, tip number 8. You need soft, smooth clothing. If you have long hair that is shoulder length or longer, so medium or long hair, you need soft, smooth fabrics. So I actually didn't learn this tip until maybe about a year ago, that it is more healthy for your hair for you to use more satin and silk fabrics. So whenever you can buy satin blouses or silk blouses or tops, rather than wool or cotton, that's really good for your hair. So being that I wear my hair down and it's as long as it is, it's always rubbing against my clothing. So you can see even here I'm wearing a satin robe, and I've started to try to even style my hair when I'm wearing satin garments. So the less friction, the fewer split ends we are causing. So that's a great tip as well. Now, am I saying you need to go get a whole new wardrobe, sis? No. However, when you do add garments to your collection, keep your hair in mind, especially if it's something where you plan to wear your hair down, and that goes for weaves as well, excuse me. They don't split as easily on wigs and weaves. Most wigs and weaves have a coating or seal on the ends of each strand so that they won't split, but some don't. So that's even a good tip if you like to wear long wigs or weaves. It will make your hair last longer. Next, tip number 7. Oil. Do not be afraid of oil. Oil your hair, sis. It is okay. You can see throughout this video, I am using oil sheen on my hair. Now, you don't want so much that it looks like you have your hair all stuck together with oil, or like your curls are in a jerry curl, but use oil. Olive oil, coconut oil. There are some dry oils that you can use, but I prefer the moisturizing oils. Okay, Blue Magic hair grease. When my hair is in a curly state, or like when I wear flexi rod sets, that is my best friend, Blue Magic hair grease. Period. I go for what I know. I know that when I was growing up, that's the only product that my mom used on my hair: water and Blue Magic. So, you stick to what works. So the Blue Magic oil works well, and I like olive oil spray if my hair is straight. There is no hairstyle that I wear where I do not put some type of oil on my hair, period. So the oil helps the strands to slide easily past one another, once again, reducing friction. Reducing friction is the name of the game. Tip number 6, this one goes hand in hand with tip number 7, and that is moisturize. Moisturize your hair. Now, obviously, if my hair is in a straight state like this, I'm not adding moisture after blow drying my hair. But before I blow dry my hair, I definitely moisturize. So moisturize your hair. You can use a daily oil moisturizer. I like pink oil. I like African Pride. So I'm taking y'all all the way back to the 90s with these products. But some type of moisture. Mael Organics has great daily oil moisturizers. They have a new rice water collection moisturizer. Which rice water is supposed to also be good for hair growth. Now, whether that product in particular helps your hair to grow, I'm not sure. I have used one full container of it, and I love the moisture that it gives my hair. Don't know how much it affects the growth of my hair. Tip number 5. I'm going to speed it up a little bit because I'm almost done with my hair. So tip number 5. And I hope you have your pen and your paper and you are taking notes. Tip number 5 is to deep condition. So once again, that kind of goes hand in hand with moisturizing. The more moisture you keep in your hair, the smoother and softer the texture of the hair is going to be. And it's not going to have as much friction and rub up against each other as much, and you're not going to get split ends as frequently. So deep condition your hair. When I was first trying to recover my hair from heat damage, I deep condition my hair once per week. So if you're not washing your hair once per week, you definitely need to deep condition your hair every time you shampoo it. At the very least, deep condition it each time you shampoo it. And when I say deep condition, I don't mean put the conditioner on and let it sit under a shower cap. I mean put the conditioner on, make sure your hair is saturated with water, put a plastic cap on top, and sit under heat, whether that's the blow dryer or the hooded dryer. I prefer the hooded dryer, and let it steam. So you are forcing the water and the deep conditioner moisture back into every strand, every follicle of your hair. That is how you deep condition. We might have to do a whole nother video on that. Number 4. Limit direct heat. I don't even think I need to explain that. Stop pressing your hair every time you wash it. I never was that type of person. I always was the type of person saying, oh, you can have healthy hair and flat iron it every week or every 2 weeks. Yeah, I did that for 3 years, and my hair started breaking off on the ends and falling off, and it was straight, and my curl pattern was not bouncing back. So limit your heat. You can still press your hair out, but once again, this is only my 3rd time, I think, pressing my hair in the past 2 years. So limit your heat. And when I say heat, I mean direct heat. So sitting under the hooded dryer for flexi rods, not so much heat damaging as blow drying and flat ironing. Number 3, updos. Updos are your friend. The more you can keep your hair off of your shoulders and off of your back, the better. This is why your hair is so much healthier during those first stages of transitioning, or your first stages after your big chop, because the hair is not being bothered. It's not on your shoulders. It's not on your back. You're not sitting on it or laying on it when you sit down in the chair to drive your car. I notice when I'm driving my car, I have to make myself sit up rather than resting back on my hair. So updos are your friend. The less you can rub on your ends, the better. Tip number 2. So we're getting into the more important tips at this point. Tip number 2 is low manipulation hairstyles. So if you're not familiar with what low manipulation hairstyles are, those are hairstyles where you don't have to manipulate your strands as much. So quick, simple hairstyles, whether it's straight or curly, just wearing it loose, or a ponytail, or half up, half down, or a puff. Something where you don't have to spend more than 5 minutes actually with your hands in your hair per day is considered a low manipulation hairstyle. Something you don't have to put a lot of hair bands on or hair pins in. It's also considered a low manipulation hairstyle. So obviously my top 3 tips thus far have been updos and low manipulation hairstyle. So if you can do a combination of the two, an updo and it's low manipulation, those are your best friends. So one of my favorite hairstyles when I was growing my hair long and healthy was just parting my hair down the middle and wearing 2 flat twists straight to the back. And then I would twirl the ends into a bun and just use 1 hairpin on each side to secure the hair. That's low manipulation and very quick, simple, and it's an updo. It did not touch my shoulders or anything. So that's an awesome hairstyle. It's always my go-to when I'm trying to. You can have deep conditioner in your hair. You can have oil sitting in your hair, like a hot oil treatment. You don't have to even brush it and put gel on it to make it look neat. Low manipulation is not gelling, not edge controlling. All of those things are manipulating your hair. Low manipulation is doing as little to your natural hair as possible. Okay, so just spritzing it with a little oil, water, and putting your daily moisturizer on there and twisting it without having to comb through it and brush through it and, toothbrush it and all of that kind of stuff are awesome hairstyles. And for the moment you've all been waiting for, numero uno. We have tip number 1. So this is the one out of all of the tips on the list that I felt like was most important. And that is to protect the ends of your hair. Protect the ends of your hair with any style that you do. So protective styles are very popular. However, most protective styles are high manipulation, or the ends of your hair are not tucked, or they're being further damaged. Those are not true protective styles in my opinion. So, for example, if you're using braids as a protective style, you want to have knotless braids so there's not a lot of tension on your scalp. You're not further breaking your hair, and you want to make sure that your stylist is braiding your hair in a method where your ends are being tucked underneath whatever hair extension is being added. If your ends are being tucked, then they are protected. If you're getting braid styles and your ends are sticking out of the braids, then they are being exposed to friction that's not necessary. So they're going to split more quickly than necessary. And that goes with any type of protective style that you get. For example, sew-ins, wigs, and weaves of any kind have to be installed with some type of barrier between your hair and the extension. So for sew-ins, you should always have a net sewn over your hair to protect your braids so that there's not friction between your tracks and your braids. Same thing for wigs. You should have some type of stocking cap on or boundary between your braids and the wig. And the same thing for any type of ponytails or extra added weaves. Always have some type of netting or protective layer, paper, something between your real hair and the weave or the extension. So we are going to see if we can make that happen this time. And I just wanted you guys to see my growth progress. So look at where the hair is. Yeah. You can see it's kind of split. I know y'all can see that frizz and fray, and a lot of that is just where the hair won't press super straight because it's damaged. It needs to be cut off. And then y'all see this craziness right here is where I cut my hair to match that Love Me wig. And now I'm about to press out the roots, the edges. Y'all see my edges. I'm about to catch that part right now. Yeah, it's hot. Okay. Ooh, child. I just recently started doing this hot comb thing, y'all, with my wigs. So this is only my second time using it on my actual hair. You know, like the hair that's attached to my scalp. Ooh, it's warm, honey, warm. All right, so I'm about to go ahead now and wrap this hair up, and then we are going to cut these ends. If you guys want to see how I cut my ends, stay tuned. Y'all will never believe this. I let my husband do my trim process, y'all. So if you're interested in seeing that, make sure that you stay tuned for the next uploads on my channel. Make sure that you like, share, comment on this video. Make sure you are subscribed and you click that bell to turn on your post notifications so that you are the first to know when I post that upload. Y'all, it was hectic. I was so incredibly nervous, but I really want you guys to see how it came out. So please stay tuned. I hope you guys enjoyed the tips in this video, and I hope that you guys enjoyed watching me flat iron my hair. I certainly enjoyed having your company. The 1K subscriber giveaway is coming soon. I am still getting in packages from companies who are participating. Thank you guys so much if you are participating in the 1K giveaway, and I will see you for that video as well. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.